welcome to Rupavahini is live on Channel I.
I'm Sanani Samaranayaka.
And I'm Dushan Boss. First take a look at the headlines. Islam devotees the world over celebrate the Hajj festival. The president says that the Muslims are living in friendship with people of other religious faiths. The Sri Lanka Central Bank reduces interest rates. Sri Lanka records the least number of hungry people in the South Asian region. The US makes attempts to avert a federal debt default.
Now for those stories in detail. Millions of Islam devotees have converged on Mecca and celebrated Hajj festival. This was one of their 5 religious obligations. The main religious observances were conducted in Mecca, Saudi Arabia during the last few days. Dhul Hajj month of the Islamic calendar began on the 6th of this month. Hajj festival is celebrated on the 10th day of the calendar. According to Islam devotees, they should fulfill 5 special pillars. The 5th pillar of Islam is to make a Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia at least once in one's lifetime. This pillar is obligatory for Muslims provided that they are physically and financially able to do so. The Hajj is the ultimate form of worship as it involves the spirit of all the other rituals and demands of the believer great sacrifice. Muslims who complete Hajj pilgrimage are being accorded the honorary title of Haji. A traditional custom of Muslims during the Hajj festival period was to provide relief to the poorest of the poor and promote social relations. The main Hajj prayers were conducted at Golfers Green in Colombo this morning with the participation of thousands of Islam devotees.
The Hajj festival symbolizes the spirit of unity when millions of pilgrims speaking different languages and belonging to different nationalities and cultures proclaim the unique mission of divinity, unity and the greatness of Allah, President Mahinda Rajapaksa said in a special Hajj message. Hajj is the most important annual event of the Muslims in the world. This festival also symbolizes the spirit of unity when millions of pilgrims speaking different languages and belonging to different nationalities and cultures proclaim the unique mission of divinity, unity and the greatness of Allah. The Muslims of Sri Lanka have been provided all facilities to take part at the annual Hajj pilgrimage. He extended his greetings to Sri Lankan Muslims on the occasion of the celebrations of Eid-ul-Adha, the festival of Hajj. Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne in a Hajj message stated that Hajj pilgrimage is an example to the people the world over. He noted that everybody in Islamic faith should pray to God for a society of equality which may safeguard the rights of themselves as well as the other members of the community by following the path of Almighty Allah's teachings. Hence, on this holy day of Hajj festival, let's pray for Almighty Allah to bless all the Sri Lankans with strength, compassion and love for the endeavor. In a Hajj message, opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe said Islamists give a valuable message to others through their philanthropic deeds. Society becomes flawless through the denouncement of selfishness and miserly habits.
The Sri Lanka Central Bank has reduced their interest rates due to the declining of the inflation. The governor of the central bank, making a special statement to Rupavahini, said industrialists, investors and consumers will be benefited by this initiative. The buying power of the people will increase with the declining of inflation. Industrialists and investors will be able to obtain bank loans at low interest. It will in turn help the country's development process. Governor of the central bank, Ajit Nimad Cabral, pointed out the declining of inflation has resulted in the maintenance of prices of goods in a stable manner.
As we all know, the interest rate, the policy rates of the central bank is a function of the inflation of a country. We have been able to maintain single-digit inflation for the last 56 months. As a result, the central bank has been able to take a more dovish outlook as far as the interest rates and the policy rates are concerned. And our monetary policy is today designed mainly to benefit by the low inflation that we have, and in that sense to reduce the interest rates in order to ensure that the growth momentum can be highlighted for the next few months. We are confident that the growth for the year 2013 will reach above 7%, which means that we now need to focus on the period beyond 2013 rather, and that in 2014, if we are to have a growth of around 7+%.
Sri Lanka has the least number of hungry people in the South Asian region, results of a global survey on the hunger levels released showed. The index identifies hunger levels and hotspots across 120 developing countries and countries in transition. Sri Lanka, ranking 43rd, fared much better on the 2013 Global Hunger Index, released for the 8th year by the International Food Policy Research Institute and Concerned Worldwide, compares to its South Asian neighbors. The countries have been given a score based on the 3 equally weighted indicators: the proportion of the people who are undernourished, the proportion of children under 5 who are underweight, and the mortality rate of children under 5. In comparison, the nearest neighbor, India, ranked at the 63rd position overall. Both Pakistan and Bangladesh, a decimal behind Pakistan, fared better than India at 57th and 58th positions respectively. The reason for Sri Lanka's achievement was the government's economic development program. The countrywide cultivation war, Apivaw Murata Naguma project, as well as the Divinaguma home economic project were among them. The government's fertilizer subsidy was another reason for good food surplus. The trend of resorting to farming among people has been increased, and the country has achieved self-sufficiency in rice.
Northern Provincial Councillor M.K. Sivajalingam says that the non-agreement between the Tamil National Alliance and its other constituent parties was a serious problem. Issuing a special statement to Rupavahini, he said that his party boycotted the accepting of the ministerial portfolio and the swearing-in ceremony due to this reason. Northern Provincial Councillor Mr. M.K. Sivajalingam noted that Tamil National Alliance has ignored ideas of other parties in many matters after the Northern Provincial Council election. It has failed to listen to selections of other parties when making ministerial appointments to the Northern Provincial Council. He added that his party is against the selection of candidates for ministerial portfolios in accordance with the needs of Tamil Arsukachi. That is why his party has boycotted the accepting of ministerial portfolios and the swearing-in ceremony in Jaffna. 3 more councillors elected to the Northern Provincial Council have been sworn in before an attorney at law in Vavuniya today. They are Mr. Tyagaraja K. Sarvesharan and S. Sivamohan. Members of Tamil National Alliance were abstained from participating in the ceremony. Parliamentarian Sivashakti Anandan was present.
Mr. Dala Salha Perumal said that all political parties in the country should have the freedom to engage in politics at any place in Sri Lanka. The government has created the necessary environment towards this end. However, the minister said that it is regretful that certain opportunities were conducting themselves in an unruly manner to gain petty political objectives. Minister Dala Salha Perumal made these observations when he addressed a ceremony in Mapara yesterday. It was organized to welcome the Deputy Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Sanat Jayasuriya. He noted that Mapara could be considered as a Varanasi in political arena. On the other hand, it is a political Vatican. No one can obstruct political activities in this area. Supporters of Sri Lanka Freedom Party should have the right to carry out political activities, and the UNP, Communist, JVP or TNA supporter should have the same freedom. This holy right in Mapara should be protected. No one can disrupt such activities, so further said. The members of the Mahasangha Southern Province Education Minister Chandima Rasaputra and members of the SLFP were among those present at the occasion.
Still on local stories, the new tourist hotels are to be open in tourism zones in December this year. The Economic Development Ministry says that the aim is to provide facilities for foreign travellers. The government has planned to attract 2.5 million tourists to the island by the year 2016 with the country's reawakening of tourism industry. 50,000 hotel rooms project is nearing completion. Special attention will be focused on popular tourism zones. Around 500,000 new employment opportunities will be created with the implementation of new hotel project. The expected foreign exchange revenue is in the region of $3 billion. Over 1 million tourists arrived in Sri Lanka last year. Tourist arrivals recorded a new high of 800,000 during the first 9 months of this year. It was a 16% increase compared to the same period last year. The number of tourists from China, Japan, India and the United States, Germany, France, Britain, Maldives and the Middle East and Australia has been increased compared to last year. Meanwhile, Health Minister Maithripala Sirisena says that Sri Lanka was the only country which formed a presidential task force under the leadership of a head of state to combat dengue. The minister was speaking at an international seminar to create awareness of new trends of dengue at BMICH in Colombo. The percentage of deaths in dengue has been reduced to 0.3% during the past 10 months from 1% last year. This was due to measures taken by the government and the health minister. Local and foreign knowledge and training to combat dengue has been provided to general and child specialists as well as nurses staff. Dengue intensive care units have been established in main hospitals in the island. Ultrasound scanners to detect patients and necessary blood testing machines have been provided to hospitals. The cost of a machine was over 100,000 rupees. The Health Ministry has implemented several programs to combat dengue in collaboration with 12 other ministries. Future action in the world crisis connected dengue scientific gene research, new vaccination system and molecular technology have been introduced to the seminar. The progress achieved by Sri Lanka in combating dengue has been explained at the occasion. Professor of Duke University of Singapore, Duane Gabler, Dr. Wilder Smith of Sweden, doctors and professors of several countries including France, UK and Germany, Minister Tissa Vitarana, Health Minister Secretary Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, several representatives in the medical field attended the ceremony. Addressing the gathering, Health Minister Maithripala Sirisena said that Sri Lanka was the only country which formed a presidential task force under the leadership of a head of state to combat dengue. No other country has set up a task force to combat dengue under the leadership of the head of state. Sri Lanka has been able to reduce the number of deaths in dengue within the past 3 years. The credit should go to specialist doctors, nurses and hospital staff, he said.
Rupavahini Corporation is organizing several programs to coincide with the main program titled Felicitation from Four Corners to the Commonwealth Summit. The aim is to ensure community participation and create awareness on the summit among everyone. These programs are to be implemented in the north and south from the 21st of this month to the 1st of November. The vehicle procession will end at Golfers Green on the 30th of this month in a 10-day journey via 110 towns. A mega musical show will be held at the Golfers Green on the 1st of next month, marking this occasion. 12 Nuga 7 workshops and 18 education seminars will be organized in main towns in the island. Measures will be taken to create awareness on economic and political benefits for Sri Lanka and the importance of the summit among the people. A lengthy discussion was held today on the Felicitation from Four Corners to the Commonwealth program between the senior management of Rupavahini Corporation and its officials. Special attention was paid on several important matters essential to make the program a success. Chairman of Rupavahini Corporation Mohan Samaranayaka, Director General Chandrapal Liyanake and senior officials attended the discussion. The city of Galle is being redeveloped expeditiously to coincide with the Commonwealth Summit. The Galle Dutch Fort, Old Cultural Building and the court complex will be reconstructed, preserving the historic value of these places. The Defence Divisions and the Urban Development Authority are extending the fullest support to the reconstruction work. The inaugural session of the Commonwealth Summit will be held at the city of Galle under the patronage of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Local and foreign representative summit is to be held in Hikkaduwa.
Meanwhile, divergent views were expressed on the expenditure for the hosting the Commonwealth, the heads of government meeting in Sri Lanka. Several leading businessmen aired their views on this issue.
When it comes to business, it is always you say that you have to first spend to get your investment on return. So even that applies to the Chogam.
Today's tourist can actually be tomorrow's investor, and it has also a direct impact of people buying from the country and getting to know the country.
There's a expenditure for Chogam, you have to make it. Definitely the country will get the return.
It will be an ideal opportunity for us to showcase the country again to the international community.
And looking at the past countries that has been hosting the Chogam, they all have reaped the benefits.
We also have seen that similar events when it was held in other countries like Trinidad, Tobago and Australia. It has direct impact on the economy in terms of the business leads and the business context that is generated.
Everybody should get together and rally around Sri Lanka and think as one. If we think as one, definitely we will reap the benefits.
Special vehicle display the logo of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting reaches Tangala town. It was warmly welcomed by the residents opposite the county residence in Tangala. The vehicle parade is in a 21-day journey via towns and villages, creating awareness on the summit on the directions of the Mass Media Ministry. Officials of the Tangala Education Zone, teachers and the staff of Divisional Secretariat signed the special plaque kept at the exhibition to vehicle, extending their well wishes to the summit. Thereafter, the vehicle parade left for Hampantata. A musical show will be conducted at the Samaharam tomorrow. The Department of Railway said that a new method has been introduced for the benefit of the passengers to obtain information on the operation of trains from their mobile phones using GPS technology. All information in relation to the operation of trains could be obtained from smart mobile phones with internet facilities. Passengers could be able to obtain details such as the place of the railway station, arrival and the departure time, and the speed of the train. All data will be displayed in a giant electronic screen at a railway station. This new method of technology has been introduced with the provisions of Colombo University Computer Institute, National Research Council and the Department of Railways. Honorable Pushpakumar Kasturi, who is in charge of the railway research and development, said that such giant screens will be installed at Colombo Fort, Maradana, Gaul and Martha railway station in the future.
One of the most exclusive German tourist groups to arrive in the island is now in town to immerse Sri Lanka's Gulf, among others. Minister of Industry and Commerce Rishad Baduddin told the ceremony in Negombo that German-Sri Lanka friendship is historic and in recent times business-to-business activities too are taking place. He was speaking at a get-together with the 58-strong German leisure delegation of Club 99, including German journalists, businessmen and investor community in Negombo recently. The German delegation is in the island to play in several Lankan golf courses before their departure on the 17th. Their tour is arranged by Kumar Rajpaksha, a Sri Lankan businessman in Germany.
Well, at least 50 to 60 people die in Sri Lanka due to disease connected to smoking. The Health Ministry pointed out that the main reason for several non-communicable diseases was smoking. The government is spending a sum of 15 billion rupees per annum for treatment of a patient suffering from cancer due to smoking. A large number of non-smokers are falling victim to respiratory diseases as a result of passive smoking. This was revealed at a ceremony held at Aralaganville under the patronage of Health Minister Maithripala Sirisena. The government has launched several programs to build a society devoid of smoking. The minister reiterated that the responsibility of everyone is to live without smoking, considering its ill effects by themselves.
A ceremony to present certificates to students who successfully completed an IT course at the Ononoko Computer Vocational Training Institute in Mathugama was held at Mathugama Auditorium yesterday. This computer training institute was launched in 2010. Over 1,300 students are receiving computer training at the institute. The training course is organized under the supervision of the Venerable Naravila Vijitavansa Thero and with the financial donation of several Japanese philanthropists. The course is free of charge. 350 students who successfully completed the computer course in 2012 received certificates and prizes at the ceremony. Scholarships were presented to 400 students for the next year. Provincial Councillor Ranjit Somavansa, Pial Nishanta Silva and special Japanese delegation were present.
Another group of Sri Lankan illegal migrants has been deported by Australia. They arrived in the island last night on a boat to special planes last night. 70 Sri Lankans have migrated to Australia illegally in 2 groups. They were taken into custody by Australian neighbour troops. These people who were in detention at Christmas Island have requested Australian citizenship. Rejecting the request, the Australian government took measures to deport the illegal migrants from Sri Lanka. The majority of them were residents of Jaffna. And we have Javed with the latest on the world of sports. Over to Javed.
Thank you, Raz. A very good evening and welcome to the sports news with me, Javed Bongzo. The Sri Lanka Army Service Corps has won the Army Interregimental Super League Men's Championship. The tournament was held at the Panagoda Physical Training School. 70 regimental teams participated in the tournament. Sri Lanka Army Infantry Regiment and Sri Lanka Army Services Corps have qualified to play in the final round. The Common Services Corps beat Infantry Regiment by 21 points to 13. Sergeant Silva of Service Corps was adjudged the best Kabaddi player. Lance Corporal APGG Chaturanga was the best attacker. Lance Corporal LSM Dasanayaka received the award for the best defender. The awards presentation ceremony was held under the patronage of General RMJA Ratnayaka. Public Services Sports Festival of the Hambantota district is now being held at the D.A. Rajpaksa Stadium in Beliatta. The Hambantota Divisional Secretariat team has won the netball match played yesterday. The tournament was conducted with the participation of 11 Divisional Secretariat teams. The semi-final was played between Lunugamvehera, Walasmulla and Hambantota Agunakola Palasa teams. Hambantota and Walasmulla netball teams have qualified to play in the final, scoring 7 points each. The closing ceremony of the tournament will be held on the 31st.
And that's all stories for the moment. Do join us once again tomorrow at the same time. Take a look at the latest on the world of news. Till then, have a wonderful time.
Good night.